Alright everyone, thanks for joining me for another video here on Keep Running with BK. And as some of you who've been following my recent videos know, I've been dealing with some knee pain. And in today's video I've got a special guest that'll be joining me to show me some stretches that I can do to address this issue and get back to running pain-free. So stay tuned and we'll be right back right after this. Alright, so I've been dealing with some knee pain in my recent running, and as you know, I've been working on trying to loosen up my glutes and my hip flexor, but still dealing with some pain. And I happen to have a very special guest today who is in town and visiting that I'd like to introduce you to, who is going to help me to look at some stretches that I can do. Wow, I just had a bug fly in my eye. Oh well. Bug and all, I want to introduce you to a very special guest, and that is my very own brother. So brother, come on in.
Hey, good to see you. Well, thanks for having me, BK.
Yeah. So this is my brother, and so why don't you tell us why you are even in a position to help me out and dealing with my issues here.
Well, my brother's been a runner for a long time, so he's gone through a lot of injury, and he usually consults me. Other than a brother who also does endurance sports, I've been a triathlete, but long before that I studied sports medicine. I was a certified athletic trainer and worked with lots of athletes through the years. I've had my own overuse problems and injuries, and then I became a physician assistant. I've been practicing medicine as a physician assistant for 22 years, and a good portion of that in orthopedics. So I've seen a lot of orthopedic injuries, managed a lot, and runners are a unique breed, and so I have a lot of experience there as well.
Yeah, great. So I've been experiencing this knee pain, and I kind of get some basic thoughts on here. When runners, this is a very typical, common thing. Well, what should runners understand about when they're experiencing knee pain here on the outside of the knee?
Yeah, so you've told me some about this, and we'll point out some things, but pain on the outside of the knee is oftentimes in a runner what's called a IT band syndrome. So the pain might be over the lateral or outside aspect of the knee, but it's really related to the IT band, which is all the way up the side of the thigh. And that IT band coordinates the contractions of the quad muscle. And so, yes, the pain's here, but we've got to address maybe a broader issue so we can get that feeling better.
Right, so I think a lot of times runners, they experience this knee pain, they think they got to do something to fix their knee, and it's really, this is where the pain is manifesting itself. But the issue really is more of the entire stretch.
Yeah, so that repetitive nature of running and the powerful quad contractions can put some extra friction on the side of your knee, but it's this band that's all the way across your hip and thigh that we're going to address with some stretching and some rehab things you can do on your own.
All right, so my brother's going to give me a couple of stretches here to do. He's going to show us how to do those. So where are we going to start?
Well, why don't you have a seat here?
Okay.
And the first thing you can do is I'll have you on your affected knee. Again, why don't you straighten your leg out, make a muscle there. And you can see the IT band here, okay? And it's broad and it's a band all the way across the hip. And make that muscle again, and I can feel it here. And oftentimes the pain's right over the side, right there. So we're gonna put stretches on this whole band because it's a thick, fibrous band. And you honestly cannot overstretch it. It's not like a pulled hamstring that you can overdo it. Let me show you a stretch seated first. So go ahead and kind of sit in the chair, and just cross this ankle over this knee.
That's where the problem is.
So everyone has different flexibility, but what you're going to do is you're just going to kind of lean in.
So first off, is this flexible?
You're a little stiff, I can tell, in your hip and your buttocks.
Yeah.
So you're just going to lean, maybe put your arms on your knee, and you're just going to lean straight forward, not sideways, but straight forward. So
I'm leaning.
Okay, so a lot of you will be able that are more flexible will lean over. You're just leaning straight forward, and show me where you feel that.
Okay, I'm definitely feeling it up here.
And that's the most common place you're going to feel it is over the hip there and the buttock on the side. But that's stretching that band up more towards the hip, and that's going to take tension off of your knee over time. So you'll lean forward. Believe it or not, he's leaning forward and stretching that. You hold that for 30 seconds, then you can relax, and then you can stretch it again. Maybe do it 3 times, 30 seconds. You can do that 2 or 3 times a day. And we're gonna do this all through your pain and maybe a week or 2 beyond, because you're gonna tend to have some tightness here long term. Okay? All right, so another stretch we can do is standing up. Again, we're stretching the iliotibial band, the IT band, and that stretches all the way across the hip and the knee. So we're stretching his right knee, his right hip and IT band. So he's gonna stand up straight. You're gonna bend this inside knee. Keep your feet together. There you go, bend that inside knee, and you're just gonna push your hip out, all right, and it's gonna stretch the outside of the hip here. So BK is not too flexible. You feeling that?
I'm feeling it. Oh,
Some of you will be more flexible, and your hip, like myself, will have to go way out. But again, we're feeling it here.
Yep.
Okay. But we're stretching that whole band out, and usually the tight spot's up top. So again, 30 seconds, and then you can relax. And you can repeat that maybe 3 times in a setting, 2 or 3 times a day. And you're going to do this for a few weeks, if not long term, to keep this at bay. So why don't you go ahead and lay down here? Yep, head down that way. So basically, we did this stretch with you sitting, leaning forward, and we're just going to reproduce that in a laying down position. So you'll see foot over the ankle, okay, and you're going to reach through here and grab this knee and bring that towards you.
Oh yeah, I can feel that.
And where do you feel that, BK?
Same place.
So he's feeling that out here, just like this seated position.
Right over here.
So if you're in an office setting, you just do that at your desk. It doesn't look like you're doing crazy stretches, and you're just doing that to break up your workday. If you can lay down and you feel the stretch better here, same thing. So we have 3 stretches. One's in the chair, one was standing, kind of putting the hip out to the side, that outside hip, and then laying down.
All right, and how many times a week should I do this?
So I would do this 2 or 3 times a day, at least one of these stretches, if not a couple of them. And you're doing it.
Is that every day of the week?
I would do it every day. Again, this is not like a muscle group that you're going to overstretch. You can just stretch, stretch, stretch. This thick fibrous band, you really can't overdo it. So anytime you think of it, stretch it, but at least get it in 2 or 3 times a day.
Okay, I know one of the common questions that we runners who are in pain are often thinking or asking ourselves is, how long should we expect this to take? Is there a good answer to that, or does it really depend?
Well, it really varies. You know, what have you done to overuse it and get it aggravated? One of my difficulties with my brother through the years and runners in general is they don't stop running.
No.
This is an overuse injury, and if you don't back off your training and get this better, it's just going to linger. So sometimes you need to stop running for a week or 2. Maybe get your cardio doing something else.
Okay. All right, well, I think that's what we've got for today's video. I want to thank my brother for one, coming and visiting and getting to spend some time together, but also I just want to say thanks for always being there for me and showing me what I need to do to be able to stay out there and keep running. So thanks for checking in the video. I hope that you found value in it. If you did, please smash the like button down there. And if you're new to the channel, why don't you check out some of my other videos, subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate that. And I look forward to touching base with you again very soon. Until then, stay safe, train smart, and keep running.